What's going on, everyone? I'm just a typical, average American here today to react to an old news report from back in 1999. I guess that's considered old now. I guess. Geez. But anyway, in 1999, apparently the snow and the ice and the winter storm was so bad that the Canadian military was actually called in to help dig up Toronto, according to this. So it sounds like this must have been some insane winter conditions, because Canadians are known for knowing how to deal with this kind of stuff, snow and ice, and yet even you guys had to call in the military for help. So today, I really want to take a look at this and see what happened. So let's take a look.
It may look like a military mission in the Balkans, but this is the heart of downtown Toronto. More than 150 reservists, volunteer soldiers, were deployed on city streets today.
This is bizarre. Yeah, I mean, somehow, wait a minute, this is like kind of contradictory for me, because there's a lot of Canadians in your cars out driving. Like, are you okay? Are you crazy? You're driving in this? In the same, like, snowstorm that has the military coming down? You got a bunch of Canadians like, I gotta get to work. Like, you got people going to war against this ice. And you still got, like, regular, everyday Canadian people driving to work. Like, oh my God. Respect. And by the way, like, if you just look at this snow here,
150 reservists, volunteers.
like, I can already kind of see the problem. It might not even be that it's like pounding snow I don't know if it's slippery, but maybe it's just like how thick. This looks heavy, like thick, like it's just bearing down on all the streets and all the stuff, and so you need people to like go physically move it, which sucks. And I'm guessing the troops weren't happy to get this assignment.
Volunteer soldiers were deployed on city streets today. Their mission? Clean up Mother Nature's mess.
We're clearing out all the bus shelters, widening them up so that people can get on and off the streetcar a little more easily.
Wow.
Not a lot of glory.
Streetcar. Whatever that is. Public transportation. Ha! I guess if you live in like big cities, or maybe that's just more common in Canada in general, but I've seen pictures of a streetcar, actually. I do know what that is, but anyway, it's just funny to hear someone even talk about that, because not something you really see in most parts of the U.S., that's for sure. So this is actually very like wholesome. The military is, in a sense, kind of like police officers. They kind of exist to help serve the people, of Canada, and they're here like clearing the bus stops and stuff, which that's actually pretty awesome.
But the work is its own reward.
I think it's great. We got nothing but love from the people from Toronto. People going by, giving us high fives.
The reservists are...
That is cool. I don't know what would happen if this had happened in the U.S. I mean, it doesn't usually get this bad in the U.S., to be honest, with snow. And I mean, there was that storm that hit like most of North America like a week or two ago that I'm sure everybody... And it was worse the more north you get. So maybe in like the most northern part of the U.S. where it like borders Canada, maybe they get stuff like this. But if the military was called in to to help clean up our stuff, I don't know if people would like give them high fives or be like, hurry up. I got places to go.
Attached to a contingent of 450 regular troops who arrived at CFB Downsview from Petawawa yesterday afternoon. Most of those
Huh.
soldiers are still sitting tight at the base.
There's no freaking way they're there's no freaking way they're watching hockey, are they?
From Petawawa yesterday afternoon.
Are they?
Most of those
Oh, on a classic box TV too. Like when I was a kid. Uh, that's the most like this is the most Canadian news broadcast ever. The Canadian military coming to help shovel snow and watching hockey on their break. You can't make this up.
soldiers are still sitting tight at the base, waiting for orders. But a select few have been plowing through snowdrifts and
God.
bison personnel carriers, getting ambulance crews to homes made inaccessible by the flurry of winter storms.
I gotta say, visually seeing this, it's a bit bizarre, isn't it? Like seeing a tank,
Orders. But a select
like this, like seeing a tank go through the city. It makes it look like a war zone or something. Like this must have been strange. If you were in Toronto in 1999, like did you see tanks? Like it's funny also cuz looking at this, I guess the storm already happened. It doesn't look that bad. Am I missing something? There's giant piles of snow and the road is totally screwed. Make no mistake. Here in the US, we wouldn't even be out like driving on this, but for Canadians is like for calling in the military. Like what was their reasoning for that? That sounds so extreme. Like it looks like a war zone.
select few have been plowing through snowdrifts and bison personnel carriers, getting ambulance crews to homes made inaccessible by the flurry of winter storms.
Like does Toronto not have enough? Did they not have enough resources or dedicated, I don't know, snow shovelers? Or I guess that's not really a thing.
We're not essentially here for snow clearing. We see that as a civil responsibility. We have limited snow removal capacity,
Yeah.
and we will provide assistance where we can. We are here to assist with emergency services as we can. We also have, in addition to the 400 soldiers, essentially in Petawawa as we speak,
Wow.
an additional 2 units preparing to deploy if required.
But for the moment,
Wow. I mean, even the Canadian military general guy there is saying we're not really here to like clear snow. We're here to facilitate safety. It looks like even help some of the people who like don't have shelter or like just make sure no one gets hurt or killed or that kind of thing. That makes sense.
it's the reservists doing the grunt work on the streets. And while some may find a military
Oh.
presence in their neighborhood disconcerting, the man in charge of the militia says not to worry.
There are no weapons. There's nothing like that. We're not here enforcing police orders or dealing
Right.
with public disorder. We're here to render humanitarian assistance to the local population.
And that
That makes a lot of sense. And he's right. Visually it looks weird, but they're just here to help and they even said it's like reserve military members, like maybe not seeing active duty or combat or like so this is actually probably a really great use, for that kind of thing for people waiting in reserve, like if they're not doing anything else, this is like a huge help. So yeah. And I'm sure like other military members were like really happy to push this off on someone else because this sucks. Like this looks hard, like hard work, but extremely helpful.
assistance has not gone unnoticed or unappreciated by commuters.
I think it's great. It's very commendable that they're able to come down and help us out this way.
Yeah. Huh. Oh my God.
While the worst of the storm seems to be over, the army will be here until the city says it's no longer needed.
Okay, so there's like these huge chunky piles of snow here. That maybe plows can't get to, or they're just in awkward spots. Like they said, there was a bunch of snow and ice literally blocking up the bus stops or whatever. Like you can't, maybe there's not a machine for that. So like just to help like the normal people, the public be able to like go about their day and help the city operate and function. It's that kind of thing. Okay, because this was a little confusing to me at first. I think I get, like, because it seems like overkill in a sense, but no, it actually seems like a good use of, like, this effort.
Steve Irwin, CBC News, Toronto.
Okay, and there's at least one more video here, I'm pretty sure. Here we go. This one says, Canadians make fun of Toronto for calling the army in 1999. So there's, not to, like, make fun of anybody, but, since it was, like, over 20 years ago, maybe you can look back and kind of chuckle about it now. Anyway, in 1999, apparently there were some Canadians who thought this was something or an opportunity to make fun of Toronto people. By the sound of it, I don't know if this was like if there's like a friendly rivalry between Toronto and Vancouver or Winnipeg, or I don't know, but let's take a look.
It appears our predicament is a source of glee for many newspaper editors across the country who took shots at one of their favorite targets, Hogtown. The Halifax Daily...
Hogtown? What's Hogtown? They took glee in this? People could have got hurt. What are we... Toronto the Wimp? What is going on here? This is the Halifax headline. Toronto the Wimp. Honest Toronto, we feel your plight. Winnipeg. What? These are real headlines?
The news headline says, Toronto the Wimp, a 15-centimeter dusting paralyzes the nation's largest city.
15-centimeter dusting. If it makes you feel any better, this would absolutely cripple most American towns and cities. But maybe, okay, so other parts of Canada thought this was like an overreaction or something, I guess, or they didn't even have to call in like active duty military people. It was like people in reserve who wanted to help. So if you know the details, it actually makes sense. But anyway, details aren't as funny.
Meantime, the Halifax Herald headline was, Army storms into snowy Toronto. The Ottawa Citizen says, an embarrassed Toronto struggles while the rest of the country hides a smile.
What?
In Vancouver,
I didn't know other parts of Canada really took this much pleasure in, like, poking fun at Toronto.
Tabloid Province headlined, Mayor Mel dials 911.
Oh my God.
And in our own province, the Windsor Star took a run at us with a headline, Hysteria grips Hogtown.
What's this Hogtown thing? Is that like a nickname for Toronto? Hogtown? Hog. Like pigs? Hogs? That doesn't sound good.
Commuters brawl over taxis as 5,000 wait for buses. Some Ottawa residents agreed.
I agree. They're wimps. Tell them to spend a little more money on their snow budget for next year, and maybe they'll be a little better prepared.
They are wimps.
What the heck is that? Man, the news used to be so great. Man, this is classic. The news, they used to just show random people saying whatever.
Toronto Mayor Mel Lastman says you just have to be here to see what we're going through.
They can laugh. They can do anything they damn well want. But come on down here and see what Toronto's going through. I mean, this.
Why is that guy in the background laughing? Hey, hey! That military guy in the back is laughing. Is this all a joke?
Going through. I mean, to sit back and laugh doesn't make much sense. And I have nothing to say to people who sit back and laugh at somebody else having a crisis.
And the Montreal Gazette suggested Montreal should export their snow removal expertise to Toronto. But today, their schools were closed and Montreal roads were a mess.
That's funny. That's funny. I didn't know there was like this little sibling, I don't know, rivalry back and forth. You know, it seems just be in good humor. Like the old mayor of Toronto there said, it's not funny if people are like getting hurt or suffering. But if you don't look into it too deeply, I think it's just like a funny like making fun of your brother or something kind of. I hope. So that's fun. Anyway, I wanted to take a look at this. This is not exactly what I expected. I actually expected it to be a whole lot worse and not funny at all, but it's really just actually an interesting example of Canada sort of displaying like it has a really good humanitarian response and like takes this stuff very seriously. And unless you're like Winnipeg making fun of Hogtown or anyway. So for reasons I didn't expect, this was actually very entertaining. So anyway, if you enjoyed this, feel free to give this video a like or leave comments with your thoughts on this, especially if you happen to be like, if you were in Toronto in 1999 or in Canada in 1999 and you remember any of this, that'd be fun to hear about. And if you're interested in more videos like this, feel free to subscribe for more. And until then, thanks for watching and see you next time.